just wanted to come on with the weekly reading. I'm pretty sure, it still holds. We've started Scorpio season, so I wanted to talk about that. But I definitely wanted to do something that I haven't done in a while. A lot of times when I first started doing these readings, I would take the time to remind you about your free will. And I think that's really important with Scorpio season right now. I want to make sure that you understand that these readings are for those who are curious about the esoteric. They're not necessarily predictive, but they are meant to kind of read the underlying energy. So, if I'm talking about maybe the way things are moving, it's almost like a current of energy. And there's a free will aspect of whether or not you want to believe that current of energy exists, or two, even decide to participate in that energy. So I want to do a reminder for you all about free will and mental health. So if you are finding yourself in a loop of, watching either my videos, other tarot readers' videos, things like that, please consider and be aware of your free will to step back, take a break, and just really focus on what you want in your life, A lot of us, we have this, and I say this because I do it myself. This is part of why I love tarot. I love oracle cards. But I also am putting it into practice. So, okay, sorry, I just got a text message. So I'm also trying to put things into practice that help those things along. So for me, my chosen things to do to help me ground myself, and understand, either open myself to the energies, of course, but also take a break from the energies as well. I like to do meditation. I like to spend time in nature. I like to work out. I like to do outdoor activities. I also like to journal. One of the things I'm going to start journaling is daily prayers. So daily prayers, talks with my spirit guides, that kind of thing. And I've been looking for some inspiration in journaling. I also paint and sketch and make things. It may not be something functional, but it's just really just getting that energy out of me and a way to express myself. So that's my way to, yes, express myself, but also stay grounded and in touch with who I am, so that I can also understand when it's time to let go of things that need to go and open up to things that I'm becoming. So I'm okay with stopping and taking a minute for myself and, stepping away from tarot for a little bit, which is not what I'm doing right now. But I just want to remind you that you also can. And I say that mostly because it is Scorpio season. So, and again, just a reminder, we as humans, we are meant to grow of our own will. And my belief is that we do that with alongside and with the support of the earth and its resources. So, even spending time thanking the earth, putting your feet on the ground, spending time in nature, spending time just, sitting under a tree, just observing the world around you is just so beautiful. So with that, again, I invite you to step back if you need and enjoy yourself. Enjoy the earth. Enjoy you enjoying the earth, enjoy the earth enjoying you, you know? Your mental health is really important. And if you are finding yourself in a rut or anything like that, I ask you to stop this video after this last sentence and reach out to your supportive network of family and friends and or a mental health professional. This information is not meant to override a mental health professional, any medical or legal advice. I want you to take care of yourself first. With that, I want to welcome Scorpio season. And so far it's been kind of like a nice, gentle, I don't know if any of you all have ever been out tubing on a river where you get on one of those inflatable tubes and like float down the lazy river, but that's how it's kind of felt for me lately. But let's talk about Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign, and water is connected to our emotions. Scorpio itself, if we think about the ruling planets of the sign of Scorpio, when it first was created, discovered, etc., Scorpio was ruled by the planet Mars. But more recently, it's now been deemed to be ruled by Pluto. Pluto is the god of the underworld in Greek mythology. So if we marry those two things together, the element of water and the ruling planet of Pluto, the god of the underworld, we can pull from that a definition of Scorpio as being connected with emotional depths, or the mysteries connected with the depth of feeling or intuition or psychic, basically, for example, intuition, psychic abilities, clairsentience, which is knowing without knowing why you know, or clairaudience, which is maybe hearing other, hearing spirit voices, that kind of a thing. So things like that, we kind of get close when we're in Scorpio season. The veil between the waking world, which we live in, and the spirit world gets thin, right? So, and of course we also have, the holidays that are in Scorpio season, which kind of allude to that fact, but let's talk a little bit more about why that is. So in tarot, Scorpio is connected to the death card, number 13. When we think of death in tarot, it can often mean going through a period of transformation. So right now, when I look outside and I see where I am, it's fall, autumn. The leaves on the trees are changing from green to brown to yellow to red. And they're going to die and fall off of the tree. And that's just indicative of the cycle of life. We've reached a point in the year, and just as the tree has reached a point in its life cycle where we're shedding what's no longer needed. And it's interesting that we're at this particular point in time, because as we are shedding what is no longer needed, we also have this veil between, our waking world and the spirit world. So it's almost as if the spirit world is ready to receive that which we are ready to let go of. And we can also honor those that have already crossed over to that spirit world as well. So, just saying that, we can see that cycle of life all around us. But, again, rarely do we get the time and the space in our culture, some of our cultures, to really focus on the phase of letting go, that death phase, in order to make way for something new. And again, death becomes simultaneously an ending and a beginning. We can see both worlds at the same time. With this, I also am being called to talk about shadow work. And I know I'm a shadow retrieval practitioner. And I haven't really talked so much about it. So I kind of I wanted to talk a little bit about it, just to give a little bit of an overview of where the term came from, what it is, and talk a little bit about shadow retrieval. So first and foremost, my teacher, Catherine Liggett, described the shadow best, and you can check her out at catherineliggett.com. But she described the shadow best. The shadow, as a psychological term, was popularized by the Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Gustav Jung in the first half of the 20th century. He referred to it as the dark, meaning unconscious, aspects of the human psyche that we repress in childhood to assure love and approval from our caregivers. Shadow retrieval, in a Jungian sense, is thus any technique that allows an adult to make these aspects conscious and incorporate them into the personality to become more whole and authentic. So again, that same thing comes up where we are taking that idea of the spirit, the veil between the spirit world and our world, and applying it, to the human psyche, where we are now imagining that there is a spiritual world inside of us of things that have passed that we have not yet have either become inaccessible to us previously, but now the veil is thinning. And so if we apply that same theory or that same kind of, I guess the word is analogy, to the human psyche and to the self, the shadow becomes the representative of the spirit world. So now the veil is thinning to our access to our shadow is thinning. And we now have access to healing, authenticity, becoming more whole, living fully as an adult, bringing these things that we might have repressed in childhood to the forefront, and letting things go, acknowledging them, letting them go, acknowledging them and allowing them to feel safe and expressing, that kind of thing. And again, this is probably why I love Scorpio season, and I love this particular Scorpio season, because it's just bringing the shadow to the forefront. So Scorpio season then offers us an opportunity to bring what is unconscious to the conscious. You may hear it in terms of dark to light or hidden to seen. But when we bring these hidden things to be seen, we are in fact in the process of healing in an emotional sense. So if we repress something in childhood, there is still a child emotional representation of you that needs you to assure that they are safe and loved as they are wherever you go as an adult. Other themes of Scorpio season. So again, there's that thinning of the veil between this world and the spirit world. There's the thinning of the veil between our waking self and our shadow self. There's also certain cultural celebrations. There's Samhain, which is in the northern hemisphere right now. I believe there's also Dia de los Muertos. And also Samhain is also known as Halloween. So the themes around Halloween are death, rebirth, honoring our ancestors, being or celebrating in the night, release, and return. So, with all that being said about Scorpio season in the shadow, let's get into our reading for the week. Okay. Hello friends, here we are at the reading portion of this week's video. Okay, so again I've just put the death card up here, my death helper card, so that we can keep in mind, we've entered into Scorpio season. I also have my root chakra candle over here in the corner, and yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot today, even though I know I've got my choices up here. I call on my divine masters and teachers to come into this reading with a message for those who are watching for Halloween. Yes. Just gonna make this special, like a pre-Halloween reading. Maybe even an overall Scorpio season reading. But yeah, that's what I ask. Asking the spirit about Scorpio season, the energies for Scorpio season. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, wow, okay. Sure. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Ooh. Nice. All right. I can see this reading is going to be a lot. All right. A lot of these are coming out in pairs. Okay. So let me see if I can get this organized really quickly, and we'll get on our way to the reading for Scorpio season. Wow. So you might not be able to see a lot of the cards on the screen, so I'm going to see if I can, let's see, that came out together, these came out together. Put these over here. These came out together. Wow, there's a lot of royalty in this reading. Okay. Okay. All right, so let me take a quick look here. No. Wow. All right, so this is going to be interesting. First out is the Ace of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Mother of Swords, the Empress, okay. The Wheel of Fortune and the Mother of Wands came out together. Then we've got the Hanged Man revisiting us again. The Chariot. The Father of Wands. And the Six of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. So, there's a lot of fire and water. There's a lot of water and some fire. We actually have a pair out on the board. We have the Mother of Wands and the Father of Wands. We also have the Mother of Swords up here. Overall, it's hard to put an overall on this Scorpio season. There's so much, it looks like, that goes on. But I always take the last card and the bottom of the deck to kind of get a feel for what this is about. And this is about emotions. And emotions, how do we often find ourselves in emotional situations? It's usually in relationships. Now, this could be any kind of relationship that, if the reading resonates with that relationship. So, could be a work relationship, a friendship, even like some sort of, I guess, passing on the street kind of a thing. Or maybe, you know what, with this Ace of Cups, let's just go through it. So the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups is new relationship, indicative of new emotion. This is something from the divine, divinely sent. That's what aces usually are. It's this grand beginning, this newness, this new relationship, this new thing. Then we have the Five of Wands, which indicates that this new relationship that comes in is somewhat disruptive. Five of Wands is typically about scattered energy, scattered actions, not miscommunication, but misaction. So, I don't know the word for wrong, not wrong action, but mistaken action. So the Five of Wands, and it also could indicate gossip or just all over, issues of just things being misapplied, action being misapplied. So that to me indicates that there's something about this new relationship that kind of throws things into a jumble. And when I see this Mother of Swords here, someone is now on guard because of that. Someone is now on guard because of that weird misunderstanding, misaction, that kind of thing. And these didn't come out together, the Empress and the Mother of Swords. So I'm going to treat them separately. The Mother of Swords is that sort of energy that is looking out for dishonesty. So it could be that there's some sort of new relationship that comes, there's some sort of new relationship that is, it's divinely sent. And, a lot of things that are divinely sent for a reason. So, but again, there is some sort of weird action that happens around it that puts someone's antenna up of, intuitive antenna. The Mother of Swords here is perched on the sword, looking directly out of the card. And of course, this is an owl, so there's wisdom here. I see, and of course, every time I see the Queen of Swords or the Mother of Swords, I see this person who is very upfront, very direct, and very honest, and does not care if that honesty is that, this is an upright card, but this person speaks in such a way that they're completely honest. Nothing that they're completely honest. They're very wise, and what they say is absolutely true. That doesn't mean that you will receive it well, which is a lot of times what we hear. Is actually a lot of times that's what we need to hear. We don't need someone that is like a yes man kind of a situation. Someone who's always saying yes sometimes. And maybe this is indicative of you expressing your right to say no to something. So even if this new relationship comes in and there's some sort of weird action around it, this is you expressing your truth about the situation without it's from a space of high maturity that you're saying this no, right? Or you're speaking this truth. So I think that Mother of Swords is a reminder to tap into that inner energy and say, no, this is not right, or this is not, just you're speaking up and you're guarding your personal peace, you're guarding your kingdom of swords, you're guarding your peace, right? Okay. Then we have the Empress, which is, to me, just says that acting in that energy of that Mother of Swords, male or female, of course, that puts you in this Empress energy. So you've shot up from just being, this queen of one kingdom. You're now the Empress of an entire empire. And it just shows that progression from Mother of Swords maturity to Empress maturity, because the Empress deals only in love. The Empress deals with things of the earth, being connected to the earth, being in her power, right? We can see the visual here, the drawing here on the card is of a tree that just full blooms. And you can see here too, there's this red on the outside, which is kind of reminding me of, where I am, we're in fall right now, in autumn, and how the leaves are turning. And as it's turning, right, we're moving into a maturity. We're maturing. We're becoming the Empress, where we can see that our lives are much bigger than the immediate things around us. And we understand how we can have those things around us and also be connected to the earth, connected to the energies, connected to everything. And we can now be a channel for that new level of maturity to the world. Because if we're not the channel for it, how are people going to know about it? Okay, so I'm going to move on. Yeah, oh wow. Wow. Okay. I am struck by, first of all, the image of the Empress and then the Wheel of Fortune, which is the number 10 card. This Empress card must indicate that there's been a change in the energy once you allow the change to come through you, once you allow yourself to express your highest self that is connected to love, that is connected to the universe, things begin to change. The Wheel of Fortune is all about this idea that we can take control of the wheel, or we can allow the wheel to turn on its own. I'm feeling this idea of free will again in this card, but I can see here too how the Wheel of Fortune, the circularness in the Wheel of Fortune also matches how the Mother of Wands is situated. The snake is coiled. To me, this is an expanded view. Excuse me. Expanded view of the inner growth that is happening during Scorpio season. We understand how we are connected to our own strength, how we are connected to ancestors, guides, universe, love, like, excuse me, whatever it is that that drives the core of you. And it gives me this image, the Mother of Wands gives me this image of the coiled snake that we're told to imagine in, at the base of our spine in, in yoga. But we are ready to uncoil. Well, here's the thing. So, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm not, no, that's wrong. My guides are like, no, what are you talking about? I'm sorry. Oh, God, for me, I'm just thinking of the coiled snake, right? So, what do you guys mean? She's protecting her eggs. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So the free will aspect and the snake coiled here, they're like, what are you thinking? The snake coiled in the Mother of Wands is someone who's very protective, again, of the things that she has birthed here. Very protective of her, her nature, of her babies, of her eggs, and when I say babies and eggs, I'm really, to me, that kind of correlates with the aha moments that we've had about ourselves throughout our, if you have been on a process of self-discovery and self-maturity, self-awareness, then the things that have helped you grow are the experiences or lessons that you keep in order to continue in the journey of the self. Now, the Mother of Wands itself, by itself, if I were to just put Mother of Wands by itself, this is someone who is very much in control in their nature, in control of, when I say in control, someone who's very comfortable in their nature, someone who's very comfortable being who they are and in nature. So, all right. The Hangman comes out again. I've talked about the Hangman plenty of times before, but it keeps coming up. But the Hangman is that change in perspective. It's a new view now from a different standpoint. You've got the bat hanging upside down. Bats are usually found in caves or dark spaces. Yeah, this is a change in perspective. And it's also you're pulling again from the things that you have learned from the past. And you're looking at those things in a different way. Okay, all right. Now the Chariot is moving on to success. It's all about movement. This is so interesting. Because I'm not seeing, it's not that I'm not seeing success. What I am seeing is that there is some sort of a transportation issue, because chariot could also just mean a car. So there's some sort of issue with how you are receiving and moving forward with this new perspective. Maybe you're getting a new car. Maybe you're getting a new... There's just a new way of something being transported to you. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. The Father of Wands. This Father of Wands kind of matches with this, well, definitely matches with this Mother of Wands. But the Father of Wands just shows that we are increasing in this idea of progressive maturity. The Mother of Wands and the Father of Wands together, this is definitely fiery, very much about action, very much about movement. Could you be moving? Maybe. Could you be moving in with a new partner? Could you be moving in with this new relationship? Could you be making that decision to do that? I don't know. And then we have this Six of Cups. Six of Cups is about our past or our history. And it also could mean that this maturity that you've gained, right, in the introduction of this new relationship, and you're expressing your truth and your maturity, it could be that you are now ready to create this roots. You've rooted and ready to, and I'm looking at like the Empress card here, and even though the Empress is here on the surface, the Six of Cups is identifying the roots, and it's really highlighting the roots here underneath the Empress. And there are many branches, many opportunities, because there are roots. So you could be maybe even looking to your past, looking to, Scorpio season is definitely about when the veil starts to thin, we think of working with the ancestors and honoring the ancestors and honoring how maybe they got through something, or how they spread out and created this system of family network, and how that now means for you in this relationship, whatever this relationship is, business, whatever. But again, looking at the bottom of the deck, and this is the Two of Cups. This is the soulmate card. This is the relationship card. This is definitely cups are already about emotions and relationships, but this card specifically is about two cups coming together. Now, it could be a partnership, that kind of a thing, a business partnership that helps you solidify this important relationship, or helps you solidify a goal or a dream, or helps you solidify who you are here on this earth. But again, free will. All right, how much? Wow, this is going to be a long reading, a long video, should I say. I'm gonna get some guidance. I really want to do a Rumi Oracle card. I've been wanting to do one for a while, and I know this is just going to extend the amount of time, that this video goes, but so be it. Call on my divine masters and teachers to come into this reading with some guidance for the overall reading. All right. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you. Right. Do you have any guidance for this reading? Do you have any guidance? Right. Spirits, do you have any guidance for this reading? Do you have any guidance for this reading? Okay. So, looks like the guidance is, she offers the sacred wine, so drink. This is the number 32 card. 3 plus 2 is 5. And the 5 that we had here in the deck was the 5 of Wands. But let's see, maybe this is a sacred disruption. Maybe this is a sacred disruption that comes in to help us understand something. So let's see what Rumi has to say and how Alana Fairchild interprets it. She offers the sacred wine, so drink. O wine giver, this part is Rumi's interpreted poem. O wine giver of enlightened hearts, offer me the wine of your kindness, for this is the reason you have brought me here from the desert of oblivion. O beautiful wine giver, pour me the wine that gives me insight. Offer me the wine from the sea of love, and fill my heart with pearls. Pour it into my heart until I shred the veil and go beyond reason. My spirit is consumed by judgment, and my life is reduced by thoughts. Pour that precious wine over the frozen cries of skeptics until their words become warm and their nays become yays. Rumi. Okay, now we get into the writing and the offering. Will you say yes to me? I want to take you with me on a wild adventure. There we shall be, tripping, stumbling, falling like fools, laughing our most unconstrained laughter as we drink the sweetest of offerings. Raucous and silly shall we be, though undoubtedly we are from the noblest and most royal lineage. Nonetheless, standing inside the tavern, warm and illumined by the golden hearth fires, we will hold on to each other, barely able to stand up straight, crying with so much laughter, sweet wine coursing through our blood. Here's the interpretation. Beloved, you are being offered a gift that is beyond your understanding. This gift is from the hand of the divine beloved. An offering to you that will lift you beyond what you have known into the next opening of your inner eye, of your heart, of your soul, so that it may caress the earth with the light of heaven. This may sound wonderful, indeed it is. Yet welcome, though this gift may be, there is a trick to receiving it, you see. Wow, a trick to receiving it. I see that trickery here. Okay. When the sweet wine is offered, you must drink, but also be willing to become drunk. You must be willing to let go of your control. Ooh, wow. Sorry, that was triggering for me. Sorry. Let me back out of that and come back in as your reader. You must trust in what will happen. Trust that you will be cared for, or that you may appear to be the fool. You must be willing to not have all the answers, or indeed any answers at all, my wise soulmate, and trust that this is according to the higher plan and not some inadequacy or error. So will you accept the gift that is coming to you, the offering that the sacred feminine brings to you now? It is the sweet wine she offers. It shall be an enjoyable journey receiving this gift, a wearing away of resistance and restraints towards life, through the sheer pleasure of aliveness without thought. Oh, what a journey this is to be for you. So much that is truly wonderful and incredible, sacred and extraordinary awaits you. You who are asked to drink from the generous cup the great beloved is bringing toward your lips. So what if your speech becomes incoherent and you have no words to describe what you feel? Or if the world around you ceases to understand you? Could any of that compare to the great bliss of being fully alive and dancing with the divine ones in dazed splendor at the beauty of life? This is the party you want to attend. Trust me, even though no one will be much interested in talking because they will be too busy dancing. Everyone will envy you, though if you open your heart to invite them too, many will say, oh no, I have to wash my hair, and I have to sort through my accounts and count my fingers and my toes, and it will take me too long, and I simply won't be ready to attend. But you go, of course. You enjoy yourself, whilst I am working long and hard at things so very important. And you may hang your head and wonder if you too should stay at home to wash your hair and tend to your accounts and count your fingers and toes many times over, perhaps, to make sure you get it right. But then you'll hear the distant sounds of clinking glasses, of music, of stomping and dancing and laughter, and you'll think a wise thought, so wise indeed that you'll stop thinking immediately after thinking it. That thought will be, forget this to-do list. I am going to have some fun. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Are you having fun yet? Well, you may need to wash your hair and tend to your accounts. That is fine. You may even need to count your fingers and toes. But over and over again, beloved, surely you can find some time in between the endless to-dos of your to-do list to throw a tantrum and come dancing with me instead. Your honor and commitment, discipline and focus are certainly to be rewarded with some uninhibited nonsense, hopefully. Come. Put aside that seriousness for a moment or more and allow the wild child in you to take your body and soul for a spin. Together, let's go and paint the town the color of love. Sacred honoring ritual. If you have a glass with some drinkable liquid, water is fine, or juice, or wine if appropriate and you prefer this option, then have it ready for your ritual. Place your hands over the filled glass like this. If you have a glass, just place it like that. And say the following. All things emanate from the divine beloved, and the divine beloved lives in all things. In this sacred nectar, I receive the gift of love from the divine beloved. I sip, I drink, I partake of the sacred gift offered to me now. I place my mind aside and choose instead to bear witness to what is offered now through the gift of grace. I ask for assistance that I may remember what it is to play and to find the joy of living, the delight of my path, and the humor of life. Bless me with such grace. So be it. Drink. You have finished your sacred honoring ritual, unless you feel like dancing around your lounge room, after which you shall have then completed your sacred honoring ritual. Wow. Wow. So this, I think Scorpio season is scaring some of us because it's asking us to let go. And then it's been a time, I don't know about you all, right? But I'm going to say, for me, it's been a hard year of having had so many boundaries to figure out and to enforce, and to which ones were important and which ones were no longer important, things that I had held up for so long. So maybe it is a time to just let down your hair and allow Scorpio to give you this season of divine joy and ecstasy and dancing and wine and having fun. Just let loose, let go of control. Okay, that's your reading for Scorpio season. Let's just say that. Um, and I will see you soon. We've got a new moon coming up, so I'll have that reading. Thanks.